Hey guys, it's Katelyn. I literally had to stop mid-workout to share something with you because during my workout I was listening to Miguel's call in the Dynasty Income Surge group, and he was talking about, he's big about being in state, like he's a big follower of Tony Robbins, as am I, and so Miguel's all about the energy you're bringing to something. So what he was talking about in the call is that sometimes you will see coaches that do literally everything on the checklist of what you're supposed to do, and they're still stuck at being an Emerald coach after a year or 2 years. And then you might see somebody who does half the things on the checklist, and they're, you know, in the top 10 elite coaches. And why is that? And he's talking about how if you are somebody who does all the things on the checklist, but you're bringing maybe like a 5 on a state, if you're talking about being in state, like on a scale of 1 to 10, bringing maybe a 5 to the table, versus you can actually do less, but be at a 9 or a 10 and get totally different results. And when he said that, it really clicked because I think a lot of my business has been built that way. So, and sometimes I think that is something that is hard for us coaches who have been coaches longer to convey to coaches who are newer. Because it's not just something that's a specific, yes, no, I did this today or I didn't do this today. But an example I'm going to give, so Marianne Williamson, she gives weekly free lectures online on A Course in Miracles. And one of the things she always talks about that I totally take to heart is that every single thing you do is infused with the consciousness of with what you do it. So she gave an example of something that her daughter was going through, about something that had been done to her daughter, and her daughter was going to respond with an email. And she said, her daughter was saying, you know, Mom, speaking to Marianne, I'm trying to take the upper road here, the high road, and I'm going to respond and I'm going to say what I need to say and try to say it in a good attitude. And Marianne stopped her and said, you have to work on forgiveness first, because even if you're biting your tongue and saying only what you think is appropriate in that situation, the underlying, frustration or anger is going to come through. So now that's a very extreme example. I know we don't deal with like anger a lot in this business or anything, but the point is, if you're responding to messages and you're just using scripts, or you're feeling like people are bothering you or that you don't have the time to respond, you have to change your energy. Hi, Marcy. So making sure, like, that's what I always talk to you guys about when I send messages. If I'm not feeling like I'm in the state that I need to be in to respond and truly bring my whole heart and presence to that person, I have a little prayer list that I read that I make sure I get in the right frame of mind before responding. And Miguel in this call was talking about it in terms of what that means for your Facebook posts. So if you're doing a bunch of Facebook posts like you should, like the standard checklist, but you're like feeling bothered by it or bogged down and you're not really putting your heart and soul into it, that's going to come across in the post. So just know that that's going to have a different result than if you're really laying your heart on the table and putting that out there for the world. That's not to say that every single time you have to feel like you're at 100%. But it's more about the authenticity, I think, and the energy and the realness you're bringing to it, and just being aware of what energy and what state you're in when you're showing up to the table and making a post or making a message. So one of the things that I always talk about is that, and Brittany Leggett says this too, that this business is simple, but it's not easy. And the emotions we deal with and the self-doubt and everything that we're learning about ourselves and expanding as we go through this business can be very challenging, but that's what helps us grow. So really bringing that consciousness of excitement and being connected to the bigger picture is what's going to catapult your business forward. So there's a lot of days where I feel like sometimes I don't feel like I do a ton of hard work, but it's because I'm in a good state and things are just flowing naturally. So that's why personal development is so crucial, because we have to be in a state. It doesn't mean we have to be perfect by any means, but really aligned with our true power and being confident with the message you're delivering. Tony Robbins always talks about how if two people go into an argument or a negotiation or just even enter the same room, the person that is the most in state and aligned with their true selves is the one that's going to control the power of any negotiation, any argument, any conversation. So really showing up with that level of confidence and just knowing who you are is so important in this business. Lindsay Matway always gives the example of the self-fulfilling prophecy of belief. So if you come into this business and you're saying like, I'm not really sure if this is going to work for me, then you're likely going to take just a little bit of action. You're going to kind of put your toe in the water, be kind of in and out of it, and you're not going to see much result. And so it's going to reinforce the belief that this isn't really meant for you. And that belief is just going to keep sort of spiraling, affecting your actions, affecting your results, and therefore affecting your beliefs. The way to change that is not that, I mean, you could take massive action and see all kinds of good results to reinforce your belief that this actually is something you can do, but you can also start with changing your belief, and that is where it really takes working on your confidence and really empowering yourself. For me, I don't always have perfect confidence. Where I have confidence is knowing why I'm in this business. So I truly believe that when you empower somebody else, you're changing the world, truly. Like the ripple effect of that is huge. I believe when people are mean to each other, when people say nasty things, or when they get grumpy, they're often feeling threatened. It's some fear or insecurity that they're dealing with. So the more we can build people up, the kinder they will be to people they encounter. And that is truly how we create a kinder world. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm making posts, when I'm sending messages. It's not about who's going to be my customer today. It's not about who exactly is going to join this group, but I am always connected to that bigger picture. So even when I'm doubting myself or doubting that things are going to work out, I know that at the end of it, none of that matters, because I know my bigger picture is that I look at this on a big picture scale always, and know that no matter what I'm doing, if I'm just trying, I'm going to help create a kinder world, and as are all of you. So that is the vision that I can always have confidence in. I never doubt that. I know that I don't have to send perfect messages. I don't have to create the perfect post to be able to just bring my heart and show people I care, and that's going to create a kinder world. So even when I don't have confidence in myself, or I'm doubting that I'm capable of something, or like lately I've really been like working on kind of trying to do a website. I know I've been saying that forever, but so that's something I've been like struggling with self-doubt with, just trying to move that project forward, and it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, like that doesn't matter, because even if I don't have confidence in that, I have confidence that if I'm just sharing my message and getting that out in some way every single day, I am helping to create a kinder world, and I can always have confidence in that. So that's what Lindsay's talking about. That's what Miguel's talking about. That's the kind of energy you have to show up with. So find that confidence in yourself and empower yourself with your bigger message, and know that that's true, and use that to project the energy that you're trying to convey. So if you even take a look at me right now in this video, I'm thinking about that vision, and that's how I'm able to convey this to you. But if I was just saying like, here's step 1, here's step 2, here's step 3, like would you really feel that and incorporate it? So that's where the difference is. I could make a video from that place and explain to you of like, oh guys, I think, you need to try to be more confident, versus like, get a vision and live it out like through and through. And it's a totally different message that gets conveyed, even though I could check the box either way of saying like, I did a video for my coaches today. So that's what Miguel's saying, where you can actually be farther along than somebody who's doing more if you're bringing more energy to the table, and that confidence and that alignment, and just knowing who you are and bringing your power to the table. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by how much there is to do in this business, then remind yourself that you don't have to do as much as you think. Like, if you're bringing the right energy to the table, you're going to have more responses from your posts. More people are going to connect with you and feel like they really understand your message. And you're going to be able to convey so much better in messages to people that are possibly interested, that you care, and this is your bigger mission and that you want to help. So it's actually less work, but with a much higher return on investment, because you're really showing up in your power and energy. So I hope that makes sense. If you've been feeling stuck, Oftentimes that stuck energy of not believing that we're going to get farther also then translates to stuck energy that we're communicating. So we're posting the same stuff. We're communicating the same way in our messages. It might even be from a lower energy place. If we're kind of doubting ourselves or doubting that this is going to work out, then sometimes that's what gets conveyed. It's almost less self-assured when we send a message or do a post. So just take an honest look at that. You can change that in an instant. In an instant. There is no training that you have to go through. You can pour for hours over personal development, but you can also at any moment just decide, like, this is what I want, this is my vision for the world, and I'm going to step into that power. You can decide that today, right now. So take an honest look at what you've been doing if you've been feeling stuck. And even if you feel like things are in the flow, just look at where can you shift your energy. We can always, all of us, have room to improve in different areas of how we're communicating and what energy we're bringing to the table and how we're showing up. And just bringing that presence. Knowing that when you're talking on Facebook, when you're sending a message, it's not just another potential client. These are fellow human beings. Life can be tough, and we're all in it together. And finding that connection is really going to help you connect with others and really going to help draw them into you. So that's where you shine over other coaches, and that's where you have something that's very unique to offer to bring to the table, is just being real. So many people are just afraid to show up to the table and just share with that energy. Look somebody in the eyes, or virtually on Facebook, and just convey the message of, I see you, I understand, and we are in this together. So that is the message that I think is so important to convey, that you're not just after another sale. And I know you guys aren't just after another sale, but make sure that the energy you're conveying is really just, how can you tell people that, like, I get you, I understand where you've been, we are in this together, life can be tough, working out can be tough, this is a shared struggle, and we're going to get there together. That's the energy you want to bring to the table. So really channel into that, and I think it's going to make a huge difference in your business. So Marcy, thanks for jumping on live. And anyone who's watching this later, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to share. I just wanted to share that now while it was fresh on my mind, because I definitely connected to what Miguel was saying. And I feel like that has made a big difference in my business throughout the years. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you guys are having a kick-ass week. And your Monday's off to a great start. And that, you always know that I'm here for you. So anything you're struggling with, do not be afraid to share. There is no reason to ever feel embarrassed, or if you feel stuck or like you should know something that you don't, just ask. And feel free to share in the group. And that's what we're here for. So we are all in this together as well. So hope you guys, I hope this made sense, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon.